I'm here with my buddy Philip Williams, and I'd like to encourage you to watch the Phil Williams Show, and you can go to patriotinsights.com.
All right. Appreciate you.
Oh, yeah.
It is that time for my response to a tweet. And today's tweet says, "You weak Americans getting off the Trump train, you're just that, weak." You weak Americans getting off the Trump train are just that, weak. Wow. Here is my response to your tweet. You ever see those movies where they say the damsel in distress, and she's tied up she's tied up and bound, her hands are bound, and she's laying on the railroad tracks, and her eyes are wide open, and the train is coming and everything like this. And then, so just imagine that kind of thing. You're bound up on this track. And then somebody's constantly telling you, you're okay, you're on the right track, you're going in the right direction. That's not a train to run you over, that's the Trump train to take you to your destination. It's gonna make America great again. And you really wanna believe it because it sounds encouraging, it sounds different than what you've been hearing. All the normal politics and stuff, so it sounds different, so that sounds cool, but you feel tied up. You feel like you can't move. And then now you realize that you're not on the Trump train. You feel like you're being railroaded because it seems like you have no other option. But the bigger thing about this whole train is that the noise that it's making, they're trying to convince you that it's love and togetherness and the kind of things that's gonna make America great again. But you're bound and you can't get out. You're looking and then you just don't believe it anymore and you're trying to get off, but you just feel stuck. And you feel like you're just about to get ran over. Because you do have common sense. So here's the bigger point that I'm trying to make. People are starting to see this now. Governors and congressmen and senators, people that once was on the Trump train, they're not hearing the love and togetherness that they thought that they were supposed to be hearing from the last 8 years of all this divisiveness from the liberals. They've been railroaded by Barack Obama. Eloquent speaker, read a teleprompter like nobody's business. But then they feel railroaded. They voted for him. They elected him the president. It wasn't black people. You can multiply black people by 3 and they still couldn't elect him. But they're feeling railroaded. And there was hope in this non-politically correct guy. But then, as you're going, we need to beat liberalism. We know we need to beat Hillary. We know it can never be Hillary. Then all of a sudden, the sounds of this train doesn't sound so lovely anymore. You're wondering if we need togetherness to beat Hillary. Where is the togetherness going to come from? We have a candidate that wants to represent the whole right side of America. And he's more telling you what he doesn't need versus what he does need. If 50% of the country is on the side of Hillary or liberals, how is he going to win when he's saying he doesn't need these people? He doesn't need those people. He doesn't need these people. He doesn't need that. You can't win in house togetherness when you're talking about things that you don't need. Yeah, it's politically incorrect. But then people are starting to realize, wait a second, it might be politically incorrect, but what about morally? You can't build a campaign on calling people names all day. That's what liberals do. But then people are starting to see, wait, the luster and the shine of this outsider is starting to sound more like the inside. If liberals call people names and all Donald Trump can do is call people names, He's starting to say now out loud, I can win the presidency with no specifics. That's not a winning strategy. And see, it's not about being politically correct or politically incorrect. He is running for a political office, so there has to be some kind of political correctness there. Political correctness is not a weakness. It's a way of binding you like the liberals have done. Make you feel like you can't say anything. But what is Donald Trump saying? He wants to tell the media you can't say anything to him. How is that to be a president? How does that work? He wants to stifle people's speech if it's saying something mean to him. People lie. This is the thing. You are to be the president of the United States. Dissent is our constitutional right. To not agree with the president of the United States is our constitutional right. He wants to use this to tell us what we can't say. He wants to shut people up. How is this a winning strategy? So this is what I come up with. He doesn't want to win. He's not doing anything to win. He's doing things to make Donald Trump points. How do we win? How do we beat Hillary? When every single argument he makes towards Hillary, Hillary responds with, but you supported me. Now all of a sudden, all the liberal positions you've been funding millions upon millions of dollars, you supported it. How can you be against it now? Our country is that damsel in distress, and we're feeling railroaded now. We feel like we're about to be run over by the Trump train. And people are looking for ways to cut the ropes. They're looking for ways to unbind themselves off of this track that are sellout Republicans. Mitch McConnell, Rance Priebus, Paul Ryan, the sellout Republicans, it's got us on this track, bound, making us think we can't cut the ropes of these delegates and free ourselves from being run over by this Trump train. He's going to win off of divisiveness? No, that's 4 more years of the last 8. How do we cut the ropes? What are we going to do to cut the ropes? What are we going to do to cut the binding of the delegates? You're listening to the same people that told you this train is here to save you, and it's making the most god-awful divisive horn sounds in the world. The blacks! Kick out all Mexicans! Kick them out! Build a wall, make Mexico pay for it! Ban all Muslims! My African American! You are a poopy duty head. I'm going to suppress the media. And now, the one that should scare us the most. I'm for gun control. And they're telling you that's love and togetherness. And you're saying, hell no. How do I get out of this thing? How do I get unbound from this? The governors and his endorsements are jumping ship. They're finding ways to cut the ropes. But the ones that got you bound up, the Rushes, the Hermans, the Seans, the Fox Newses, the congressmen, the Mitch McConnells, they're not going to tell you how to cut the ropes. But there is a way. There is a way to help and save us. Get us off of this Trump track. Get us off of being railroaded. Because this Trump train is not what it says it is. It's exactly what it says it is. It's divisive. It doesn't need you. It doesn't need nobody. It's narcissistic, egotistical, damn right rude. And it's looking for a way to just be angry, upset, and tap into populism and make you think that this train is not going to run you over. And the same people that bound you make you think you can't get unbound. And that's not true. We're in the delegates' hands now. You have the knife to cut America's ropes and get us off the Trump tracks. Hey, I'm Phil Williams. That's my response to a tweet on the Phil Williams Show.